and welcome. So, I never really know how to do these videos. I just kind of do what's right. So, like, normally I just do, like, the little tribute, and with Hunter I just announced it in one of my other videos. But with Spector, I feel like a little bit of explanation is needed, because, like, last time y'all saw, she was doing fine. She was fresh from her surgery, she was healing beautifully, she was acting normal, and she was fine. And now she's gone. So, let's talk about it. So, so Spector developed a lump. It wasn't a tumor, it turns out. You can go check out the 3 Rats Had Surgery video so you can understand exactly what's going on. But basically, yeah, she developed a lump, and we got her surgery, and we had her spayed. That was the beginning of September. And she did have, like, one little complication, but she came out fine. And then that was about a month ago. It is currently October. And then, a few days ago, like more than a few days, like almost a week ago, we noticed that Spector was acting kind of funny, or I should say Cappy noticed that Spector was acting kind of funny. So basically, I was cleaning my mixed groups cage, and I heard Cappy call from her bedroom, Sarah, can you come in here, please? And I came in, and Spector was holding a treat, and she was gripping it, but she was holding it on the ground, which isn't good. That's typically a sign of something neurological going on, but at the time, sometimes rats just do that. So at the time, I was just like, I don't know. So I said, okay, well, let's just watch her. I don't think there's anything wrong about it, just watch her. And then 10 minutes go by, and I hear Cappy call me again. Sarah, come in here, something's wrong with Spector, there's something wrong. And I come in, and she had her up on top of the cage to kind of see how she was walking. And it's kind of hard to explain what I mean here, but there's a certain look that rats who have pituitary tumors get, like, on their face, a certain, like, not all there look. And she was walking, and she kind of stumbled, and I looked in her face, and I saw what Cappy saw, and I was like, oh no. And then I started watching her, and I realized she was having a lot more trouble gripping than I originally thought, and that, yeah, something was wrong. So I immediately made an appointment for her, because pituitary tumors can be treated as palliative care. Like, once your rat has pituitary tumor, you cannot get rid of that, you cannot fix that. That is going to be what takes them out. So I made an appointment immediately with a vet that we have used before, and we liked them okay. And we got her on steroids, because I had medicine left over from Riff Raff and Heidi, who were both on medicine for a pituitary tumor. Riff Raff did not have a pituitary tumor. I don't know what was going on with her, but it was not a pituitary tumor. Heidi did, for sure. But I had the medicine, so I immediately put Spector on the medicine. And that was Friday. Saturday, she seemed about the same. She's still okay. Sunday, maybe a little bit worse, but she was on the meds. Monday, she was definitely worse, and the meds didn't seem to be helping at all. And then Tuesday, she was very noticeably not good. She was very noticeably not good. And that's the day we had the appointment. So that was the earliest I could get. Everyone was booked out. Where I live, pretty much every vet is closed on Saturday and Sunday. And the ones that aren't are only open for a partial day, and their rat doctors aren't in, unfortunately. So it was the earliest I could get. But I had the meds that I knew she needed. So, but yeah, so we took her in, and the doctor was talking to us, and basically, considering that the meds hadn't worked, and I had dosed it correctly, I did everything correctly, but considering the meds hadn't worked, and where she was at, we ultimately decided that the kindest thing was to let her go. And she wasn't even 2, she was only a year and a half old, which is, it's not fair that happens, but the kindest thing was to let her go, because she was not doing great. She couldn't hold anything. She was very lethargic. One of her eyes was bulgy. She was done. Like, she was tired, and we didn't want to bring her home for a couple of days until she got, like, worse, because it would have been fair to her, and it would not have been fair to Cappy. Now, Cappy's not here because she's very, very, very upset. Not the least of which being, we did just get Spector surgery, and we thought she was fine. We thought all 3 of her rats were going to be fine. And it's even more unfair because Cappy's only had 5 rats. And one of her other rats, Wicket, who we always said Spector was so much like Wicket, because they were both like adventurers. They always wanted to be on the bed or on the floor or doing something. They were chewers. They were so much alike. And with Wicket had the same exact thing happen that Spector happened, where she got, they weren't related by the way, where she got lumps and bumps that came and then disappeared, and we got surgery for her. We got her spayed. And then with Wicket, we got her spayed in, I believe, October, and then in February she developed a pituitary tumor. And it was like one day she seemed a little off, the next day she was way past the point where we could bring her back, and we had to take her in. And with Spector, obviously the time frame was different because it was only a month between the surgery and the appointment to let her go. But it's just kind of unfair. It's like she's had 2 rats die before the age of 2. Wicket was a year and almost 8 months old when she passed away, and Spector was only a year and a half. And it just seems so unfair that of her 5 rats, 2 have had pituitary tumors so young. But it happens sometimes like that. Like, that's what no one really tells you about rats, is you can do all the research. You can get all this. You good? What are you doing? What are you doing, baby? You can get all the stuff they need. You can do proper cage layouts. You can give them a great diet. You can get them from a good source. You can get them the medical care they need the moment they need it, or as soon as there's a vet available. You can do everything right, and they can still die. And it feels so bad. It feels so bad because part of you is always going to wonder if there was something else that you just didn't know. Even I, who have been at this for so many years, have moments where it's just like, well, maybe there was something I could have done. And with pituitary tumors, there's not much you can do. You can get them on cabergoline and or prednisolone, and you can buy them time. And sometimes you get lucky. I got 11 months with Heidi, and sometimes it doesn't work at all, like with Spector. And it's not the best thing. And I remember when Wookie died, because we've had kind of a bad year with pets. Like, Wookie passed away in April. Heidi died in June. Riff Raff died in July. Humdrum died in August. My cat Storm died in September, and now it's October and Spector's gone, which makes me nervous for the next 2 months, considering I still have some seniors, like Sailor, who's right here. But the thing is, I remember when Wookie died, and Cappy looked at me and she's like, I don't understand how you do this. I don't understand how you keep getting rats and keep doing this. I didn't have an answer for her then, and I don't really have one now, other than if I didn't do it, then I wouldn't have them. And that's just not acceptable to me. Like, how can I not have this? How can I not? I love this. So yeah, that's kind of what happened with Spector. And I'll ask Cappy if she wants to say something. Ultimately, we don't know if she had the tumor before she had surgery. In case you didn't know, here you go, baby. You want to go back? No? Yeah? If you didn't know, doing a surgery on a rat that has a pituitary tumor is very, very, very not good for them. And there's no way for us to know if she had it before the surgery or she developed it after. I do kind of think it was after. I was looking through her old pictures from around when she had the surgery, and her eyes looked fine, and she had no symptoms whatsoever. So if she had it, it was very, very, very minor. And yeah, but I do think it developed afterward, and it just happened fast, unfortunately. But yeah, so I'll see if Cappy wants to say anything. I don't think she will, because she's, as I said, very upset. I'm also upset, obviously. I don't know if you can tell. But yeah, so if she doesn't want to say anything, then we'll just go straight into the, like, little tribute part to Spector. So, anyway, my normal outro includes, I hope you enjoyed this video, but this is a sad video, so I'll just say goodbye.
So I wasn't originally gonna say anything because, this whole thing has been very difficult for me, but I just thought, I don't know, I think I just felt it would be weird to not say something, just because, like, I don't know, I loved Spector so much, and I guess I don't want to not have a final word here, if you know what I mean. I don't know. It's 4:30 in the morning, and I can't really sleep right now, and I look like a mess, so sorry, but, so I know Sarah said what happened, but I just wanted to talk about a little bit some of the worries I had, like, as a rat owner, because I got my first 2 rats, Wookie and Wicket, and Wicket died really young, also of a pituitary tumor, and I had Wookie for a while. I lost Wookie about 6 months ago, and I kind of had this thing hanging over my head with Spector, Grant, and Lockley that I could, like, never love them like I loved Wicket and Wookie, and I don't know why. It was just this thing that was always in my brain. It's like, oh, I'm not as good a rat owner to them, and I don't love them as much. And I think I stopped feeling that when Sarah and I were standing in the vet's office, and I had to decide what to do because the medicine wasn't working for Spector, and it was just kind of obvious that there's only really one choice. I didn't know when I got up yesterday at this point that I wasn't going to bring her home, and I kind of figured that out right before we left. And I don't know, just standing in the office right before they were going to take her, and I was holding her, and I was like, oh my god, this feels harder than with Wookie. And I don't think it was because I didn't have very much time with Spector, because I didn't, but it was just weird because the whole time I've had these rats, I had this thing of like, oh god, I know I don't give them as much as I did with the others, and I don't feel the same, but I think I do, and I don't really know why I needed to make a big deal about saying that. I guess I just wanted to say it, but when I was saying goodbye to Spector, all I could think is like, oh, this feels so much harder than Wookie, and god, I would just do anything to not have to do this. And I just keep thinking of Spector's face, because she has such a pretty face, and I love her so much. And I guess I want to leave you with that, of like, if you have that kind of worry that you're not gonna love new rats as much as, I guess, heart rats is a thing. I'm not like super rat person like Sarah is or anything, but I know everyone's like, heart rat. You'll have rats that are just more special than the other ones. And I was just worried that Wookie and Wicket were going to be it for me, and that I would just never love anything like I loved them. And I almost let that keep me from getting more, and I didn't, even when I thought it should. But I guess if you're worried, you know, about, oh, I'll never love anything like I love that pet, maybe you don't need to be worried, because, you know, I guess your heart just gets a little bit bigger maybe, and it doesn't take anything away from the other ones if you love your new ones the same or more. But yeah, I really miss Spector, and she was great, so I just wanted to say that. So thank you for lots of kind words on Sarah's Instagram and TikTok and stuff, and I'm sure there's going to be nice comments here, so thank you for that, and not commenting on how messy I look with a bunch of tears in my eyes crying on the internet. But Spector was great, and I just wanted to say that because I just needed to say that. So, thank you.